Hey everybody, it's Jordan Cunliffe. Back here today. It is October 30th, 2022. It's a pretty special day for me. I've got 6 months of sobriety today. Never thought it would be possible. Lot to celebrate there. I've done a few things for myself this weekend to celebrate. I went out with some friends to like a burlesque show. It's called the Slide of Freak Show on Friday night. Watched the Jake Paul fight versus Anderson Silva on Saturday night. Woke up and watched the Broncos game this morning, and so you got to find little ways to celebrate in life. And you got to celebrate the good moments, and when you accomplish something or you meet a goal. I think it's really important to take time to do something special for yourself, to give yourself some credit and reward yourself some. It's been really great. I never thought that I would be at this point. I've talked about it before, but I really didn't think sobriety was in the cards for me. And so to be here with 180 days of sobriety is truly a blessing. And I'm really proud of myself. And I'm really grateful for all the people in my life that have helped me get here. And I have a lot of gratitude that my life is in a totally different place than it was 6 months ago. So I've got a lot to build on. I now have a really good foundation, and I want to keep moving forward. One of the ways that I have been able to move forward, and it's what I really want to talk about today here, just in this quick video, is how I've used exercise to really be a staple in my recovery and a big foundation of my daily discipline. So when I first got out of treatment, I was walking every day, and I was kind of just doing it as a way to give me something to do when I was bored, because you get out of treatment or you start to get sober and you realize you have all this free time on your hands. And so I started walking, like a half a mile at the most, but I did it every day. And, then a half a mile turned into a mile, and then a mile turned into 2 miles, and 2 miles turned into 2.5 miles. And then I thought, well, hey, maybe I can start running, And so I started off, I would run till I got a little bit tired, then I'd walk. And I just did that over and over, and until I got up to the point where I could run a mile. And my first mile times weren't pretty. It was, like 16 or 17 minutes or so. Which is really crazy because I used to be able to run 2 miles in 12 minutes. So but doing drugs and not doing anything physical with any physical activity for 10 years, you get pretty out of shape. So anyway, I've now I'm running every single day. I run 1.5 miles every single day, and I've got my 1.5 mile time down to, I just ran it in 13 minutes today. So I went from barely being able to walk a half mile to 6 months later, I can run a mile. And when I would walk when I would walk a mile at the beginning, my mile time was like 24, 25 minutes. So I went from that to 6 months later, I'm able to run 1.5 miles in 13 minutes, which is a lot of progress. And I hope that I just keep improving my time. But the reason I bring all this up is because I really think that exercise is a huge way to implement change in your life. It really helps me establish a routine. It's something that I do each and every day. And it's the first thing I do every morning. There's the obvious benefits of exercise, weight loss, your health, all those things. But in terms of mental health, it releases a lot of endorphins. But the main things that it does for me is that it gives me a huge sense of confidence that I can do something difficult. Sobriety is not easy, and it's not a walk in the park, and it's something that takes work every single day. And I've really tied my sobriety to my running. I look at it as sobriety is going to be a lifelong challenge, and it never stops. And if I'm going to be successful, then I need to be a disciplined person. So I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is run every day. So I prove to myself that I'm able to be disciplined and that I can stick to something, and that when I have a goal, the first thing I do is accomplish that goal every day, and that builds a ton of confidence. The other thing it does, and even more importantly than that, is that it proves to me that I can do something difficult. I don't wake up every morning and think, wow, I'm so excited to run. To be honest, when I wake up in the morning, it's like, fuck, I don't really want to go for this run. And that's what it feels like. But, I put my shoes on. That's the first thing. And I force myself to do it. And, some days are easier to run than others. Your body feels a little better. Sometimes you're sore. So, your hamstrings or your ankles or whatever it is from running the day before. But, you kind of suck it up and you do it anyway. And this has been huge for me because I got really, really lazy in my drug addiction, and it was really hard for me to do anything difficult. I would just always cop out. I'd be like, nope, I'm not going to do that today. And I'd just go get high instead. And I wouldn't think about the fact that I didn't do what I was supposed to do, or just do something because it made me uncomfortable or whatever. And so, waking up and going for a run and putting myself in an uncomfortable position and doing something that's difficult and really pushing myself through it is been huge for me, and it builds a lot of confidence in my recovery that I can stick to something. For the first time in a long time, I have a daily task that I'm able to follow through on, and I think it sounds kind of dumb, but it really is all the small things in recovery, all the little things that you can do on a daily basis that stack up, that give you the confidence to keep moving forward, because recovery is not easy and it's scary. And so anything that you can do to prove yourself that you're worth it and that you can accomplish something goes a long ways when it comes to getting sober. And that's what running has done for me. And, just the discipline, obviously, but when you're running, so you get tired and you start thinking to yourself, oh, I want to stop. I want to walk, and you could do that. You could stop and walk anytime you want, but to be able to have the mental toughness and the mental strength and the discipline to tell yourself, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not backing down today. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to just finish this run, and just and pushing yourself through something that's uncomfortable for, 10, 15, 20 minutes every day, making yourself uncomfortable. And you can apply that in your recovery. When you're having a bad time, you're having a craving, or the day's not going well. Yeah, you revert back to that mindset that you have when you're running. And it's like, nope, I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up. I'm going to push through this, and I'm going to get through this today without using. And then the last thing I want to talk about with running and how beneficial it's been for me is, when you're in those moments and you're having cravings, or somebody does something to make you upset, or you have a bad day for whatever reason, something doesn't quite go as planned and it kind of messes your world up for a minute. Going for a good hard run and making yourself exhausted takes the edge right off. I feel like I can handle everything better after I've been through a run. I'm more relaxed. I'm not on edge. I'm less reactive to things. I can process things better. I can be more present in my day. I'm not on edge. Things don't make me as anxious. Going for a run just really sets the tone for me in the morning, and really chills me out and makes it so that I can just kind of process the day and go through the day without being on edge, and when something comes up, I can deal with it, and without panicking or freaking out or letting it overwhelm me. And in the moments where something happens and I'm not coping with it well, just pushing myself through a really hard run just takes that edge right off. And so, and the cool thing about all this is that it doesn't necessarily, this is all true for recovery, but a lot of what we're trying to do in recovery is figure out how to live normal lives, and without using drugs and alcohol. How do we get through the day as a normal person without using drugs and alcohol? And so, if you're not in recovery, I think this exercise thing is a great thing to do for anybody. If you want to make changes in your life, or somebody just died, or you lost your job, or whatever it is, I challenge you to try using exercise as an outlet to deal with some of the difficult things that you're dealing with. I really believe that it's going to be a staple in my life forever now. The benefits are so plentiful that I really can't imagine um, not using this to my advantage anymore. It just makes you feel so good on a day-to-day basis and helps get you through tough times. So even if you're not in recovery, I just using alcohol as a way to kind of set the baseline for your day and get you started off in the right way, or to take the edge off when you're stressed out, or to help you clear your thoughts when you're going through a difficult time in recovery or not in recovery. It's a great tool, and I think it needs to be utilized more. So hope that somebody gets something out of this video. I hope that this made sense for somebody, and that helps highlights exercise, maybe motivates you to use exercise as a way to deal with your mental health problems. Much love, y'all. Peace. Go for a run.